everybody. It is August 31st, 2018, and 7:18 p.m. This is episode 211. Today's cartoon took 2 hours and 11 minutes to draw. One of our new subscribers, and he has commented on several videos now, is Arlo Rowan, and he asked a really, really good question. He asked me to do something, which is something I should probably do every time. What Arlo asked was that I talk about before I create the cartoon. I'm gonna go find his question. Yeah, let me go to that video. He commented like 10 videos ago for this one. Alright. He asked about choosing the subject and laying it out. I explained some of this in today's Costa Rica video, which is not up yet, which I don't know why, because I got it by 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Like 8 a.m. They're wrong. But what I do first off when my TV is on the news all day long, all day long, and I have composed this email to myself. It's not to anybody. It's just I just compose an email with a blank recipient, and I write down my ideas, or really my subjects. It's more subjects than ideas. And right now there's probably about 50 subjects in there, which I need to go through every now and then and just start deleting because time kills some of them. I don't get to most of these subjects, and I think on any given day I can add about 7. And this was one of them. Actually, 2 of them. I had Molly Tibbetts written down, and I had Puerto Rico written down. And then I thought, when I got my idea for this, I said, hey, that combines both of them. But then I also delete them from the list, if I remember. But how did I get this idea? Everybody asks how we get ideas. And even after I get the idea, I can't really tell you how I got the idea. Not normally. I don't really remember how I got it. It's like, I think after I formulate the idea and think about how to word it and how to connect it, because the first thing I think of is combining the two and making the point, that they're all about pointing out this one death from an immigrant here illegally, and they're ignoring what's going on with Puerto Rico and all the deaths there. I don't know how I came to that, to point out that hypocrisy. And I think I forget how I came to it after I formulate the whole thing and figure out how to put it together. Sometimes it doesn't work and I give up and I move on to something else. How did I do it? I don't know. Sometimes I remember, but I don't remember with this one. Before I go to sleep, before I do the cartoon, if I go to sleep, and I did that last night, I went to sleep about 9 p.m. and I woke up about 11ish. Usually while I'm laying in bed, I kind of like map the whole thing out in my head about where I want everybody to stand and stuff. And it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes I start doing it, I might think of it like 4 hours, 5 hours beforehand. And when I get to it, it's like, oh, God, that's terrible. It's not really working. I saw it so much differently in my brain. But this is kind of how I had it in my head. It never really turned out exactly like I have it in my head, but this is it. And I didn't really like Molly's tombstone here. I had to keep moving it around a bit, which you will see. I didn't like that her name was so low right there, and that bugged me. So you'll see right here, I just go like, okay, I got to move her name up. That'll do it. So I'll move her name up. And then I kind of realize, after I do the name, that I didn't really like where it was. But I think I draw all the other tombstones first. He also asked, how long does it take me to caricature someone new? Or do I rough it out? I rough out when I have a client. With this, I don't really rough it out. The rough is in my brain. I don't have to have it approved by anyone, so I don't need to draw rough. But sometimes I draw it so many times before I start like putting on the double ink and everything that I kind of do draw rough myself. But I'm drawing the rough right before or even during the beginning stage of this. So I don't really do roughs anymore. And it's like I stopped doing roughs and I also stopped doing penciled version. So I used to do, when I did paper, I would do a rough. Then I even stopped doing that. And then I would do a pencil version and ink over the pencil version. And now I don't even do that anymore because it's all digital. And if I don't like it, it's just so much easier to erase the ink and just move something. I don't have to use whiteout anymore. I kind of miss whiteout in a way because I always just like the gunky effect on the original that you can never see in print. But I don't miss erasing. I don't miss eraser dust, which I always call eraser crap. I don't miss that. My son used to yell at me for having that stuff all over my floor, all around my chair. It's like I had a circle of orangeness around me. It was like Donald Trump had sat here. And how long on average does it take you to caricature someone new that might pop up in the news? Stormy Daniels, for example. She popped up fairly quick, is in and out of the news. No pun intended. In and out. I got it. So what is the process of caricaturing someone new, let alone in your style? Well, today I drew Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua, and he is not new, but he's became new again because I hadn't done him in so long. Done him like a Stormy Daniels. Nobody did it. So I spent a while on it, and the thing is, I don't look at other drawings of him, not cartoons, not caricatures, not paintings. I look at photos of the guy, and I also looked at how he had evolved over the years. And I think I drew him about 10 times before I finally got it. And I don't know what it is about my style. See, now I got to move the headstone. I don't like the placement of it. But I kept working on it until it does turn out to my style. Sometimes after I draw them, I think, oh, this is great. Then I'll also think, you know what? But it's not really my style, so let me do it again. So I don't really know how it turns into my style. I just do what I do. But someone like Stormy Daniels, if people don't really know who it is, and it's not really important to get what she looks like. So nobody's going to, because the thing is, I could draw Stormy Daniels and have her face look exactly like her face. And if you open up the paper and you see the cartoon and she doesn't have a label, you're not going to go, oh, look, Stormy Daniels. So it's not really important to have her looking exactly like she does. And I decided I didn't like the elephant stance. So with Stormy, it's like I just need 3 assets of hers. One is her big ass hair, and the other 2 you can figure out because there's 2 of them. Get it. So that's how I do that. And I just spent 7 minutes on this. But if she becomes such a fixture in the news, like constantly, say like a Kellyanne Conway. I want to talk about females since you brought up Stormy Daniels. Females are usually harder. But say Kellyanne Conway or Sarah Huckabee Sanders, people see their faces a good bit because they're on news every day. You see Stormy's lawyer on the news more than you see Stormy. So I try to get Kellyanne and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And thankfully, the women that Donald Trump hires are usually pretty easy to caricature. Are a lot more fun. Because they have qualities about their physical features that can just caricature. But no offense to those women, but if the woman is really, really beautiful or good looking, you can have a hard time with her. I've had a hard time with Hillary Clinton ever since 1992. I still have a difficult time with Hillary Clinton. I can draw her and people know it's her, but I still have a hard time with her because she is not a bad looking woman. She's in her close to her 70s now, and she is still not a bad looking woman. You know. Now a conservative will tell you, "Oh, what a hag," and that'll be their word, not mine. And they try to make fun, tell you how ugly she is. They do the same thing with Michelle Obama, who's also a beautiful woman. And I have a hard time with Michelle Obama. Hell, I had a hard time with Obama because he's a good-looking guy, even though he has big-ass ears. You know? So good-looking people are difficult. One of my favorites to do was George W. Bush. He wasn't an ugly guy, but he had some just great features that worked out because he had an upper lip like an ape, and he had big ears, so he kind of looked like a monkey in general, and he kind of behaved like one. And the funny thing is, yeah, I can do that about a white guy, but I can't do it about a black person. So there you go. But some cartoonists still did that. We're gonna do some shout outs now. We're gonna go to the shout outs. Gotta pause this so you don't hear it annoy you. Alright, you only got a few minutes left anyway. No, we got like 6 minutes left, so we got time for shout outs. As I said, Arlo Rowan. Is it Rowan? Arlo is a friend of mine too. He's a really cool guy. Going to give a shout out to Robert Coutinho and He said, I know, right? I think the last cartoon. About my MAGA monkeys cartoon. Speaking of monkeys. I can't tell like the last cartoon. And I can't also told Arlo that about my Costa Rica cartoons. I can't tell like the cartoon. And the bar guys are a favorite. And she counted the Legos, 12, maybe 9 teeth. And her cat kept trying to help her count. Yeah, cats can do that. They can kind of get in the way of things. I'm gonna give a shout out to Ariel because I know she didn't comment on the last one, but I also know that she is extremely busy this weekend with the wedding. Not hers, someone else's. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Me too, Ariel. But since she's always loyal, I think that she is still due a shout out. So Ariel, we love you, and we are thinking of you. So we will see you soon. Probably maybe tomorrow, maybe on Saturday, maybe Sunday or Monday. There will be a cartoon tonight, so you will have a cartoon in the morning and a video sometime tomorrow. Or I might put the video off till Sunday. I don't know. Since I plan to take Saturday night off. Saturday night, Sunday morning off. I am too far ahead. I need to take a day off. I'm like 4 days ahead, so I need to at least get it down to 3. Can't be too many days ahead with political cartoons. So that's our shout outs today is Arlo, Akenta, and Robert Coutinho. Now Robert and Akenta, this does not mean that you guys can skip a day and just get a free shout out, okay? Alright, but you probably will anyway. So as I said before, I do appreciate everyone who comes in here and comments and watches the videos. And if you are brand new here and you're watching all this, go on, you can leave a comment. Today, speaking of the creative process, is I drew the number one thing political cartoonists hate. The second one are crowds. And I kind of like crowds. It is a lot of work. It's kind of like I love it and I hate it. But I love the way it turns out, so I don't really hate it that much. But grass is the number one thing that we hate. But I think I've got grass down. Not down that it looks good, but down to where it's passable and I can move on with my life. It really kind of stinks that I had to put grass throughout this entire cartoon. There wasn't just like a little segment of it. It's like I had to wrap the whole thing. It encompasses the entire body, except for where the headstones are standing. I did like the layout of this. I wasn't too sure if it was working. I wasn't too sure exactly how to make the elephant's color. I was like, blue, can't make them too gray. Do I make them darker? Do I make them lighter? And I was doing that with the headphones. Headstones. Like, I shouldn't make them too dark. And today, all of the coloring, every single bit of it was used with one brush, and that was the clumpy oil. That clumpy oil, man, I'm so into it right now. I did the Costa Rica cartoon almost entirely with the clumpy, but at the very end, I dabbed in, just dabbing with some acrylic oil. So this is all clumpy today, folks, and you will see how you can just be messy and blend stuff. You can just like da-da-da-da-da-da. If another color gets in there and you start going over it, it tries to mess everything up, and I kind of like it. So I just keep working it, and it might even make these videos longer. Put a little bit more time to the cartoon, but just keep messing it up, just as if I'm on real paper with real oil. Hey, that's on there, let's not use whiteout, let's just see if I can put another color over it, and at first it blends, and then you just keep gunking it and gunking it and gunking it, and I like it because it's kind of like real paint. I could just use a solid thing and run over everything, but and I could just photo bucket everything, but I have never photo bucketed anything. That's just lazy. And there's nothing wrong with being lazy if that's your style. I'm a lazy person in general, except for work. I don't know why. I mean, I don't have a manual labor job, but... Alright, there's your card. No, it's not. I'm not done yet. What am I still... Oh, yeah. A muck. After I put a muck in here, Hillary never got back to me. Because I was asking her, but I also asked her at 3 a.m., so... that doesn't help. I looked up a muck. A-M-U-C-K. And then I looked up Amok, A-O-A-M-O-K. And at Grammarist.com. I looked at a few sites, but then I went to Grammarist, and they had the best reasoning. Said UCK was 19th century. I was like, wow, okay, they're both correct, but AMOK was like this century. So then I Googled both in news, in Google News. You can go to that news feature and Google something. And it seemed like the more standard publications had been using AMOK, and some like smaller, obscure publications were using MUCK. So I went with AMOK. I know you didn't need that big ass explanation, but you just got it. Oh, I also spared all you guys watching me draw Puerto Rico 1,000 times. Thanks for coming by, and leave us a comment, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Please share this and subscribe to the YouTube channel. See you tomorrow. Goodbye, bye, bye.